euro is finally seeing some relief after the Italian election, and as predicted, the US dollar is selling off just a bit. Let's talk about it here at Capital Markets. Traders, what's up guys? Welcome back to Capital Markets. It's your host, Cleveland Bishop. I'm excited for you guys to be here. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you guys stay subscribed. We're going to be pushing out the technical and a fundamental view of the markets, the foreign exchange markets, every single day. All right, so again, make sure you guys are subscribed. And if you ever have any questions, comment down below. I'll be right there to answer them. All right. Earlier this week, we were talking about the Italian elections and how that was putting a lot of pressure over there on the euro currency. And subsequently after that, we have seen that pressure come off a bit. So you saw a lot of pressure being released from the euro currency. And interestingly enough, you saw the JPY sell off as well. An interesting correlation was that when we saw euro weakness, we saw a lot of JPY strength. And then when the Italian elections ended, we saw a lot of weakness over the JPY, and that capital flow came right back over to the euro. I'll show you guys a quick screenshot here of the past 4 hours for the euro JPY and for the euro USD. You guys will see an interesting correlation there. So again, what's that mean? Again, you just had a lot of capital flows happening. When risk comes into the market, all the different investors that are in Japan, they repatriate that capital back over into their Japanese banks, right? Because again, they don't want to hold their money in those Japanese banks because there's a negative interest rate. So they're literally paying interest semi-annually as long as there is cash in those holdings, right? So they put a lot of capital over in Australia. They'll put capital over in Europe, US, everything of that sort. And when anything happens economically that's a little bit volatile and a little bit risky, those investors will pull out of the market. That's what we saw when it came to this Italian election over there in the European Union. So where's the euro going to go? Well, we think that this is just a slight relief for the time being. Overall, we do see that the euro is still slightly under pressure. Draghi has had a hard time lowering the tapering regime that he's trying to do. Right now, they're doing quantitative easing. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a quick description as to what that means, but he's printing money every single month in hopes that he can start rallying the economy, right? So that's called demand push inflation. He's throwing money into the money supply, hoping for cost push inflation, hoping that the actual consumers in the actual economy are going to start making money move themselves. Everyone's a little bit scared, so money is in banks. That's why they have to put that money into the money supply by printing that cash from their treasury. Interesting. But again, long story short, he has not been able to stop that program. The economy has not been able to rally and inflation hasn't been able to show itself so that he can slow that process down. That's why we think that there still could be a little bit of weakness coming in on that euro USD. We'll keep an eye on to see exactly what happens for the euro USD. But as of right now, we had a German CPI that came out that was a little above target. That's good. And then consumer confidence for the US dollar actually hit a low ball. And so that's why we saw the euro USD rally quite dramatically, even outside of the Italian data that came out. So that's interesting stuff, folks. We'll keep an eye out on what's happening with the euro. When it comes to the US dollar, we do have NFP that's coming up in the next few hours. Okay, so that's going to be pretty important. NFP, non-farm payroll. We're expecting 189,000 jobs added into the economy. NFP for the US in 2018 has been a little bit volatile. Some months will have a positive reading. Some months we'll have it in the red. Here's the past 4 months as to what NFP has looked like. And you guys can see it's somewhat even when it comes to under-expected and over-expected and even a few break-evens. That's why it's going to be pretty hard to predict exactly what happens for this NFP. But if your money's to the buy side in terms of the US dollar getting stronger, well, you might be positioned kind of well based off of the pullbacks that have recently happened. If you think the US dollar is going to sell off, well, the NZD USD is right now positioned quite well to see a rip higher. So is the Aussie USD, right? Those markets have been sold off quite dramatically and they've consolidated well within these tight ranges. You might see a push up into structure if NFP comes out negative. So that's some data that we're definitely going to be looking for once that US market opens up. All right. So guys, look, it's been a very, very packed week. I hope you guys have had a successful trading week. If you guys need a broker, please head over to capital-markets.com. We're a broker. We're one of the top brokers in the UK. We have extremely tight spreads, which means you're going to be paying less per trade. That's what you want when it comes to trading for sure. And when it comes to liquidity providers, if you want fast execution, you want to come to us. All right. We have some of the best liquidity providers in the entire industry. Head over to capital-markets.com to get your account started today. I'm Cleveland Bishop. I'll see you guys next week.